Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Junior. Once again, watching the theme park dude. Today we are here at Lookout Cay for my 4-night sailing here aboard the Disney Dream. Now, this is my first time ever looking at Lookout Cay. And man, first impressions are, it looks really cool, but you'll see this giant pier here. That's a long walk, but we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to check it out because you can see all the cabanas out there. You can see the tram stop that takes you to the other side of the island where there's a lot of the activities, the beach. But yes, you might notice that this is not a singular island. You can see how it keeps going this way. This is because this is technically not a private island, more so a tip of a peninsula of Euthra, which is a Bohemian island, the longest island in the Bahamas. And Disney has the tip of it, Lookout Cay, or Lighthouse Point, and they renamed it or call it Lookout Cay. So this is very exciting though. I'm excited to check it out because I've never been to this island before. I've only ever been to Castaway Cay. So I'm super excited to check out this brand new Disney private destination. And make sure you follow along because I'm gonna try to show as much as I can of the island with all the activities, some of the shows, beaches, the water slides, everything that I can. So stay tuned to all that so you don't miss a thing. Now, let's head on down to Lookout Cay. So this, we just got to the actual island, took about a 10-minute tram ride. And here is a piece of artwork you see right when you get off by one of the Bohemian artists. And wow, that's really cool. It's like a tree carving. And then here you've guest services, you have the main store. First impressions are this place looks very nice, very more, I guess, actual like buildings and stuff compared to Castaway, where you can tell Disney spent a lot of money building all these structures, and you can see the play area and the water slides and all these different huts with different restaurants and all of that. But it's very spread out. These pathways are very big. There's a lot of space. Kind of reminds me of Epic in a way. But there's a nature trail entrance. And then this way's the barbecue entrance, which opens very soon. So we'll get ready for that. So heading towards Serenity Bay, which is the 18 and up area on the island. And it's very, very spacious, like I just said. You can tell that they were very careful not to disrupt the natural life here, even in the water or on the land, because everything's built up off the ground, which that's really nice of Disney to try to maintain, you know, everything. But keep walking this way, it's towards Serenity Bay. Back there you can see we have the cultural center, another bar, which I've seen like 5 so far, so that's something on Lookout Cay, I guess. The beach, it's pretty quiet. It's like, you know, there's so much space and there's not a lot of people, so it makes me wonder if they're planning on maybe having a second boat be able to dock here in the future, or maybe a hotel or something, because there's so much space here and I don't think there's that much people. So, and our cruise is pretty busy, so it's very interesting. So this is the adult only area, which the barbecue doesn't open for around 30 minutes, but there isn't a ton of stuff down here except for another bar and the private beach area. But yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of stuff, I would say, right now going on the island, just because it's before lunch opens, which is in about 20 minutes, and it's also before a lot of the entertainment happens. But just kind of, I've done a full loop of the entire place, and it's really, really nice, very beautiful. I love how, you know, Disney decided to build everything up so you can still see all of the, you know, the natural plants and even sometimes wildlife still around, as well as, you know, with the water being so blue. In my opinion, the water is probably better than over at Castaway. But there's just something kind of feels off a little bit, like it doesn't feel as Disney-fied, if that makes sense, which is a good thing in some ways, but it's also Disney's private destination. So there's not, I mean, you have the characters obviously, but you have a lot of like just these buildings that are just kind of look like warehouses. Oh, there's Daisy over there, that's cool. But like you just have a lot of these buildings that are very plain and they have some very nice artwork on them, but for the most part it's just kind of bland looking. But it's definitely a mixed first impression. Obviously, like some of the issues I've read online, like the fly issue, I mean obviously this is before lunch, but that's non-existent right now, so that's awesome. And there's more than enough space to move around, so that's also something that I'm very happy about. And I think like over at Castaway, there's a lot of times where you can feel crammed in the sidewalks and all of that. There's Pluto and Goofy going that way. Wow, and there's Donald over there. But yeah, no, there's Goofy, Pluto, and Chippendale, so we'll go see where they're heading off and follow them, because they're all in their Lighthouse Point Lookout Cay outfits. Here's a look at the directory of the island. You can see all the stuff that they have to offer with 3 different lunch locations, with True Barbecue, True Barbecue 2, kind of similar to Cookies Barbecue and Cookies 2 over at Castaway, and then Serenity Bay, which is the same over at Castaway. So I don't know if you saw what I got a clip of, but I was just walking that direction and the music started to play, and then they had Goofy, Pluto, and Chippendale come out, and they were doing a dance party with a bunch of people. So that was really cool. Donald's now over here. Here's the barbecue that's now open, which is the same menu, it looks like, as over on Castaway, with ribs, chicken, some seafood options. Oh, it might be actually slightly different. That's really cool. But yeah, there's some burgers and all of that. So we'll make sure to go get some in a minute, and then probably go hang out at the beach. I know this island, there's one thing I would say is missing, is water slides. There's not a lot of them. There's one like little area for kids, but there's no like area you swim out to and go on the slides. So that's something I would say this island's missing that, you know, you have over at Castaway. But yeah, it's very beautiful. I think once some of these trees grow, because this place is only a year old. It's just about a year old from the time of this video coming out. So that's really, really interesting. But it's beautiful to see it all here and to see Disney, you know, add their magic, you know, in the Bahamas. And everyone's so friendly. All the crew are so nice. And there's also a lot of people that actually live here on the island, like similar to Castaway. But unlike Castaway, where they're kind of stranded on that island, they can actually just go to the rest of this island, because this is just the peninsula of Urethra. So yeah, and then there's the slide over in the distance over there. Well, there's not a ton of shade here, which definitely, if it was 10 degrees warmer, would be very, very bad. But over there you can meet some of the people, like I pointed out earlier. That's really cool. But yeah, no, it's just very, very, very hot, which makes sense being in the Bahamas, but there's just no shade because everything's up off the ground. So even the trees that would naturally cover people aren't able to. Saw clips from Rush, a Junkanoo celebration, which was a really fun show here on the island. It featured Mickey and Minnie and a bunch of people from the island, and they performed in these really colorful outfits with great music and great instruments. It was very fun, definitely a must-do if you come to Lookout Cay. And it also happens at 2 p.m. So it's just past noon right now in the gift shop, like I just showed some clips from, and I purchased a pin, a shirt, and a hat, so that's gonna be really cool. I'm excited for that because that's exclusive Lookout Cay merchandise. Overall, today was a very fun, it's about 2.5 to 3 hour visit to Lookout Cay. Not gonna do too much else, just because there simply isn't too much else, but it's still a very fun, enjoyable island. I'll give my full thoughts though when I get back on the ship. Got my Dole Whip, and now time for a long walk back to the boat. I'm back on the ship, but I went straight to do the aqueduct a couple times, and I wasn't able to record on it because I didn't bring my waterproof case on this cruise. I completely forgot to bring it, so that's why there's no in the water shots. So you can see right now in the back, there are still people getting on the ship because at 4:25 was the all aboard, and it is currently 4:16, so people are cutting it close. But you can see your final guests are making their way back. I'm sure they're shuttling some guests, which is great. I really did enjoy Lookout Key. I thought it was very fun. I thought definitely was different than Castaway Key, and there's a lot of similarities. But like you can see here, you can see the part of the island on the other end, and you can see like the town that they have over there for the team members, and then you can see where Disney's property kind of ends over there, and there's like another resort, it looks like, over in the distance, unrelated to Disney. But all this stuff over here is all Disney related. So Lookout Cay though, obviously you start with this walk here to the island. It took about 10 minutes and I was using a light jog, but it is about half a mile, and then when you get there you wait for about 15 minutes or so if there's for a tram. But also when you get there, there is a water stop about halfway, and there's more water when you get there. And then there's a smoothie area, a boat rental area, and a Port Adventures check-in area. And also a mini gift shop with some limited merchandise from Lighthouse Point at Lookout Cay. But it's very fun once you get there because it feels very Animal Kingdom-like. And I actually learned that Joe Rohde, who is the lead Imagineer on Animal Kingdom, actually helped some of the early creative process for Lookout Cay. So there's a lot of similarities in terms of a lot of like the styles of the buildings, a lot of the architecture, a lot of the design, and it feels very Joe Rohde, very Animal Kingdom. And then once you get there, there's a tram that will take you, it's about a 10-minute tram ride, and it takes you to the other end of the island. And there you have all the stuff I showed earlier, which I tried to show as much as I could of the island. And yeah, it's very, very spacious, not a lot of shade. You're kind of in the sun because you're up off the ground, like here, how there's no, I mean, obviously there's not gonna be any shade here, but when you get over there, there's not a lot of shade either. But it's still, you know, there's still a lot of water. There is a few awnings to go under. There's some umbrellas. And then you just kind of hang out there. I mean, there's a couple beaches. It's very unlike Castaway in terms of like the water slides, the giant nets you can go swim out to, the amount of beaches, the like bike trail. I mean, we did not do the bike or the nature trail, but apparently that's all throughout this point of Urethra, which is the name of this island that goes all the way down there. It's the longest island in the Bahamas. So this is just the southern tip of it. And those are what they're called, the cliffs on the end, which you can see when you're on the other end. They look really cool. But I don't even think you can get out there. But you can see right here where the family cabanas are, and then there's also adult cabanas over in Serenity Bay back on the other side of the island. I do feel like on the island itself they could have had more Disney stuff. There was characters though, like I showed in the video, so that was cool. There was some gift shops, there was a couple Mickey stuff up on the wall, and there was a great show. I really enjoyed the show I saw, the Junkanoo. I think that's a great show. But have more of that. Maybe have a couple more characters. Maybe have Stitch come out. Maybe have Captain Jack Sparrow come out. Maybe have other shows with different characters, and maybe some more entertainment on the actual ship or on the actual island itself. Maybe have pin trading on the island. Just make it feel a little bit more Disney, because it doesn't feel right Disney right now. It just feels like a private destination, a private resort. Very nice though, and I really did enjoy the beach. I thought the water was amazing. The beach was very soft. So overall, Lookout Cay gives a solid review from me on my first visit. But now for the rest of this video, we still have a lot of stuff tonight. We have dinner at the Royal Palace. We have to go see Believe, which is a very fun show that normally plays on the last night, but they swapped it. And then we have a day at sea tomorrow, so that's going to be very fun as well. So yeah, make sure you follow along and stay tuned for the rest of this video. That's gonna do it from day number 3 here aboard the Disney Dream. You can see that I'm walking through by the Walt Disney Theater, and here's a look at some of the merchandise. But you can see they're all locked up and closed, but tomorrow's a day at sea day, so it'll be open most of the day. Here's some of the 2025 merchandise and some of the pins. But yeah, after dinner at the Royal Palace, which was very good, continued to explore the ship, went up and saw some shows in the 18 and up area. But and then watch a little bit of Thunderbolts, but I think I'm gonna head back to the room and call it a night because it is getting late, and tomorrow's a very long day because it's our last day here on the Disney train, but today at Sea Day, so I'll be doing stuff from hopefully 9 a.m. all the way until midnight, so stay tuned for the next vlog. They'll hopefully come out soon. Thank you guys so much for sharing this video, and if you enjoyed, please leave me a massive like and subscribe for future theme park content. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of Lookout K at Lighthouse Point earlier today. That was really fun to be there for the first time and to share it with all of you. Thanks again for watching, everyone. See ya. Bye.